Hello, hello. Let's see. Um, let's look up this. Right. Sweet. All right, so we've got this. Let's pull up. Let's go to Notepad just to say, do I have Notepad plus plus? Nope. Notepad's fine. Let's go with what we want to do today. So one, research. We're going to look at a couple different websites and see kind of what's already out there. So research existing um, finance websites, tools. We're going to do some evaluation of those, and then we'll say learn view basics. Get a, we'll say hello world page up. By up, that's not necessarily live online, but for a Visual Studio, we should be able to um, launch this. So if I hit web server, Google Chrome, this should give us something that we can go to and actually view. So it's building this. And now access. So basically here that is right here. Hello world. New single page application built with Vue.js. Uh, so I guess this comes with the project pre-built, and we're gonna kind of put our own twist on it. See what we can get done without diving too much into view. But yeah, exit out of that and stop that. So start with number one. Let's pull up website. So the goal is when you type in finance tools, what do you get? Looks really bad. Let's just exit out of that. We'll just do this. So, finance tools. A couple things that pop up. A lot of these are just reviews for finance tools. Uh, Nothing that comes up is actually a website for financial tools, which is interesting. So we're gonna take some notes here on that. Um, Research notes. We'll say search results and finance tools. No website pops up just, but there's all blogs talking about financial tools. About, I guess, finance tools. If we open up, um, let's just look at this, see what it says. 14 financial management tools that every business must have. So I'm not necessarily looking at making any business tools, probably more financial tools, but I'm interested to see what they have here. We scroll down a bit. Document 360. Heard of it? Mint, I've heard of before for budgeting. Of course, they have a free version and a paid version. Personal Capital. I don't see any website links. None of these really have any websites, and a lot of them are paid. I want to create something free. Um, yeah, pretty much all of those have a paid version that probably kicks in pretty soon, I would assume. Tipalti, products, accounts payable. It's also more business sided. Personal finance tools, this might be more down our alley. Track spending with Mint, made by Intuit. Cost 14-day free trial, 99 annual. That's trim. Better investing with Betterment. Yep. 0.25% annual fee for digital investing. And then a premium for more investing. Budget with your partner with Honeydew. Looks like theirs is mainly free with ads, so not bad. Never heard of Honeydew. Maybe we'll take a look. Looks interesting. Elaborate on your own terms, track all your accounts, coordinate. So it looks like you can track budgets and stuff, connect bank accounts, and track money with that. Not necessarily the path we're going to take. Not a lot to look at there. So I think we're kind of going down the wrong path here. Um, Maybe if we type in personal finance tools. Again, lots of blogs about what the best personal finance tools might be. Paid, paid, paid. NerdWallet I've heard of before. Rocket Money as well, but paid. Credit Karma. There's a decent amount here, but generally services that you need to pay for. Um, we'll add to the notes more um, blogs, I guess. Budgeting apps, finance tools. A lot of them are kind of aimed around budgeting, I guess. So, kind of the ones that I've seen before more is if you look up investment calculator is one thing that a lot of people search. So, this one actually brings up more usable solutions. We'll look at a couple of these. Let's open up the top four. So, this is a pretty common one I like to use, but I feel like there could be some improvements to make. It looks a little dated, and um, there can kind of be a lot to look at here without really knowing what you're looking at. But they do have a lot of options for different calculators you can pull up here. Um, the one we pulled up was investment. Here, this one looks a little better, but again, it's very similar, and it's missing a little bit of functionality that I'd maybe like to see. Um, Things like maybe a slider bar for the starting amount and then see a graph that would dynamically change. Same thing goes for additional contribution. Uh, this drop down, I don't know if you can do much with that. Again, any of these numbers that you would change, a slider bar, I think, would make things a little easier uh, with the option of typing in. So help you manipulate things a little easier and see some dynamic changes. Here, what is this? Dave Ramsey. You enter your current age, you get when you want to retire, how much money do you currently have in investments? Well, let's say 10,000. How much will you contribute monthly? Say we do 200. We look at the 30-year return S&P 500 has been roughly 10 to 12%. I think if you take into account um, inflation, this number gets closer to 7, so we'll say 7%, and then calculate. So tells us what our return is in 39 years. And then if you want to make a plan, they give you some options. I like the pictures, some what ifs. Save an extra 100 per month for that. Give up coffee purchases, that much a month. Give up weekly restaurant visits, that much a month. I do like this portion. Maybe we'll say a couple notes on these. So let's grab this URL. We're gonna say a little dated. We should get pros and cons because not everything's gonna be bad, not everything's gonna be good. So cons a little dated, pros, what do we say? Lots of options. I like how they have all of these different financial calculators. So it's not just investing. And then they have some sub tabs per calculator that also add some variation. Salary, change hourly to yearly salary number. Pretty nice. We'll say lots of calculators. Pretty good. Okay. Smart asset. Total contributions, total interest earned, starting amount. I'd say I like their bar graph. They don't give a lot of information other than that. Um, Assume that the rate of return compounds based on the frequency that you contribute. Okay. And then some advertisements, obviously, some information. I feel like it just gives a splattering of information and maybe not necessarily what you want. Maybe you don't know what you want. Places with the most incoming investments. Direct investment map highlights the places across the country that have the most incoming investments. See, I don't know what incoming investments means, so I have no way of knowing what that even has to do with what we're looking at here, but add it to the list. Add some pros. We'll say um I like the bar graph. How does it look if this number gets bigger, like 40 years, which is kind of what you'll spend in your career? Actually, put 40 lines here. So 2053. I didn't even see this maximum value is 30 years, so that's not great. So it's got limited calculations that it can do. But yeah, the graph looks nice. I like this. It's easy to read. Tells you what you're looking at. Yeah. Next one. I already talked about this one. Um, Free tools. I guess they have a lot of other free tools. Uh, the budget calculator. I guess you can fill all of these with your buckets. Monthly income after taxes. 2,000. Okay. So it gives you kind of an idea of generally how much people might put into these. I'm gonna guess by percentages. Wonder some of these have like zero in them. Plan to invest 15%. What if we up this to like 6,000? Still zero. I might not even fill those in. They're put in others, so I guess they have a max number that they put on some of these. But I do like that a lot, actually. Let people get an idea of how much maybe they should be spending on things. Let's grab. This wasn't one of the websites necessarily that popped up with our search, but it is a tool that I like some inspiration from. Rough estimate. What to spend on, what to. Um, be nice if you could download this. I wonder if they want you to make an account. Sizable budget. Um, yeah, it's all good and dandy. I don't know if I want to make people create an account. It'd be nice if you could click a button back here that exported this into something that you could see, print out, take with you. And to export. All right, last one. Pretty similar. Again, this calculator. Well, this blog post below is more of a blog post than like instructional, informational, and I don't think it reads as easily. Probably put that as the con for this. Initial investment. So we do another 250 a month annually. See if this one let's do 40 years. Yeah. 50. Yeah. 60. And it's got limits for some reason. Rate of return 7%. Total interest, total principal. It's numbers, I guess. So you can see, I like the way it tracks this. Pretty cool. So let's grab Nerd Wallet calculator. Here's if they have anything else. Money, making money, making Tetra. Okay. Rose. Let's let's say like the hover animation on the graph. explanation and um page, I guess. Looks more like a blog post. Harder. Okay. I do like that you click that and it automatically adjusts. That is kind of nice. I don't think this one you have to click the calculate button every time you want to change to take effect. Whereas this one will change every time you change something. This one was dynamic. This one is dynamic. So I definitely want to do something dynamic. I said I liked about this. I guess the variety this one has, but it definitely has some things that are a little dated. Um, Let us look. So let's kind of make some notes on what our tools might look like. So some aspects. Column there. We want dynamic. No, I want some sliders. Exportable. Easy to read. Easy to find information. So easy to find information. Some ideas on that. I think. I wonder if. Yeah, so something like this, where you hover over it, 10%. So this as well, where you hover over something around an item that you're changing a value on, so you actually know how that value plays its part in what you're looking at. So I like how these two do it. This one, pretty good, but it's only on one of them. This budget calculator, really good. It actually shows what um, kind of gives you insight into how their algorithm is parsing out the budget. So, like, this bucket's 25% or less. They put it at the top 25%, but then you can modify it, I'm sure. I change this to a 0, then you can see difference is 500, and you can put that 500 somewhere else, like right here. But yeah, it tells you a little bit about what you should be trying to put into these buckets and also how it's calculating off your initial monthly income after taxes. When hovering returns or inputs. That. What else do we want? What else? Give me 1 second. All right. Um. So what next? What next? What else? I think so. Obviously, like I said, I like the fact that this has so many different options. What do we want to do to start? Is the question. Um, I think start with an investment calculator. I guess I should see bring up a budget calculator. 50, 30, 20 budget calculator for easy by Quicken. You can deal with it. Calculator.net does come up. There's actually a way down. NerdWallet seems to be doing decent, but again, there's like so much information here. But if you just want, say, 1,000 again, necessities wants only breaks it up into three categories based on 50%, 30%, and 20%. Like, I would get started. They want you to make an account. Interesting. So yeah, let's start with one investment calculator, and then do a budget. Well, so I think the budget calculator, it'll be more useful to be able to export that data into maybe a monthly tracker or a weekly tracker. Have some boxes where you can fill in what you're actually spending. The investment calculator, how I don't how useful is exporting a graph or a spreadsheet showing where you're going to be at? I guess if you want to kind of track to see if you're hitting these goals every month. Um, where's this even at though? One, oh, this is our annual schedule. So this is on a 10-year. So at the end of the first year, you're expecting to have um, added in nothing. Into the second year, we're saying at the beginning. Do end. So end of the first year, you've put in $1,000. Into the second year, you've put in 1,000. So I guess you can make sure you're hitting these principal numbers. Interest, you can also see if you're hitting those depending on what you're investing in and what rate of return you're actually getting. You might be able to compare interest numbers that this is giving is better or worse than what you were wanting to see. Um, what else? Yeah, anyways, for exportable, might need to think about what you would want to actually export here. Maybe we give them a few options. Or variations. A few options or variations. And see what people want. We can probably track which ones they pick and then edit those. Since this is kind of gonna be a project that's in development while it gets put online at the same time, it's not going to be a perfect product when it's released. Um, we'll have some sort of feedback. Feedback form. I don't know, something like that, where people can give their thoughts and say how they want to, or see features they want added, things that can be improved, refined, all those things. So it's not just being built by me, but by you guys as well. Um, cool. I mean, that's pretty good evaluation. I feel like we're in the basic of the view. Sure, we'll get into there in a second. Maybe we open up Paint and get a rough idea of what maybe just the investment calculator is going to look like. So if we grow this a bit, um, generally you'll have some sort of header. Oops. Let's put, we want a different color here. My color is more of a color. Okay, so probably be white. We'll give a dark theme as well, but usually you have some sort of a header up here. Find that. Make this bigger. Okay, a little too big. What up, Jared? Something like that. Um, Probably just front and center. You're gonna have a box with options right there, and then it'll generate your graph right below that. And like I said, I probably want some sliders. Slider, 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 slider. And they obviously have their little knobs. And they'll still have boxes where you can input numbers. These will get populated too. Say you move one slider, whatever that number falls on, it'll populate that box. And maybe there's a description here. There will for sure be, say, a little I, information I. We'll put that in a little box for uh, circle that. Let's see, how do you move stuff? I just have to select it and move it. Let's go. All right, just get rid of that. So we're gonna have descriptions here. description. This is going to be our graph. And then maybe just at the top, we'll have some tabs here. These will be like the different tools you can click on. So to start, we're just going to have the two for investing and then budgeting. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Would be the best place. I mean, maybe a print button top right or even above. I hesitate to put it on the graph, but it might be nice to have it above, maybe right there. Like print out your graph and maybe any other numbers. And maybe you can have some tabs here and here that switch between views of the graph, different formats. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for that. Now, as far as actually coding this, I'm not super versed in coding, so we're gonna look up view. We're gonna look at quick start. That went. Let's just pull up the first tutorial. Composition, value pair. Let's see. So let's pull this up. We're gonna look through a couple of these files, see what we see. So index.html generally is your starter. Please enable JavaScript to continue. Message, welcome to your new single page application built with blah blah blah. Message, we can see here's a string and it says home. Okay. Assets. So right now I'm just looking to see where that hello world message is actually populated. It almost looked like it would have been here, but it's not. Message string name. Let's see if this shows us how to enable JavaScript. JavaScript. Visual Studio, yeah. Install node.js expansion pack from the extension pack. Extensions marketplace. Extensions, manage extensions. Node.js. Not sure which of those I'm supposed to do. For you project. Okay. Volar extension. Show me syntax, plain file. Maybe look up the Volar. Um, from the notification, press install. Do I have a notification anywhere? No notifications. Okay. I mean, it does run. Interesting. Go back to our extensions. You made a website, Jared? Sure, post a link. Let's see it. Better not be messing with me. We need Node.js though. Nice compiler, Node, you from interesting. Let's just see what this comes up with. How this say website. View serve. Sounds like what we're doing. I found the content. We're sorry about blah blah blah. Default text for browsers in which JavaScript is not enabled, so don't worry about this at all. Oh, I get it. So if there's no JavaScript, then this would get displayed. But since there is, then it shows our app, which gets auto-injected. Where's our app? It is in the components, home.view, in our app.view, I believe. So yeah, here's our message. We'll say Find math. Script, home, components, home view. I'll post that there. Main.js. Blah. So now if we run this, it now says find map. Welcome to that. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Go ahead and just change this. Um, go into our suite of tools. Okay, let's pull up our guide, our tutorial, declarative rendering, single file component, reusable self-contained block of code that encapsulates HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's where you can do message, count as that. Let's see, state the trigger, import reactive from view. I think I'm supposed to replace this, at least one template. Oh, my bad. If I do that, does that work? I don't think so. Probably should have read the instructions on how to use the tutorial. Prerequisites tutorial assumes basic familiarity with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. If you're totally new to front end development, it might not be the best idea to jump right into a framework as your first step. I have some. Two API styles, Options API and Composition API. This tutorial is designed to work for both. You can choose your preferred style using the API preference switches at the top. Okay. So what are we looking at here? What you see in the editor is a view, single file composition or component written inside a .view file. Yep, app.view. Core feature of Vue is declarative rendering using a template syntax that extends HTML. We can describe how the HTML should look based on JavaScript state. When the state changes, the HTML updates automatically. State that can trigger updates when changed is considered reactive or dynamic. That's what we're looking for. We can declare reactive state using Vue's reactive API. Objects created from reactive are JavaScript proxies that work just like normal objects. Object declare some reactive state here. So I guess we would go right below that. Put that there. Including arrays and built-in types like map and set. Ref, on the other hand, can take any value type and create an object that exposes the inner value under a dot value property. Count.log. Footage. So, is there a way to run this? I'm not sure. Ref hello world console log. Take this, throw it up here, maybe? Reactive state declared in the component script setup block can be used directly in the template. This is how we can render dynamic text based on the value of the counter object and message ref using mustache syntax, which are these curly brackets. So theoretically, it's this. Count is 1. Notice how we did not need to use .value when accessing the message. Ref in templates is automatically unwrapped for more the content inside. If not limited to just identifiers or paths, we can use any valid JavaScript expressions. So this just mixes up changed. Count as 1. Now try to create some reactive state yourself and use it to render dynamic text content for the H1 and the template. So I kind of just did that. I'm curious. Import reactive from view, const counter equals reactive. How does the count update? Is it just any time the message changes? Zero point 1, 2, counted up, counted up. I guess that just changes it by 1. Okay. This is how it was supposed to be done, I guess. Reactive count, then ref. So if you're referencing a reactive, you need to do dot and then whatever the identifier is for refs, you just use message inside the curly braces. Cool. Make me red. Cool. Yeah, we want to change colors. Let's see here. Attribute ID. Div ID, dynamic ID. Show me. So what are we doing here? Style.title, title class. Let's go with this. I don't know. Sure, we could do RGB, that. Ooh, hex is probably the easiest, actually. So let's split the screen here. Let's pull this down. So where are we? We're in app.view, home.view. Got our template here, template there, our script. Let's go ahead and add a const title class equals ref. That's some room to breathe. Style scope. I don't know what it means. There's a style class somewhere. View style. I guess here we can probably put dot title. We'll say color. And hopefully it can read that. Head back over to this guy. And we're going to want to set h1, give it a class equals, and we're doing title class here. Save everything. Okay. See if that did what we wanted it to. Build errors. Stop that. See what the build errors were. We don't do. Oh, there were build errors. Okay, it's not showing anything now. This, 2 errors found. Doesn't like ref. Interesting. Title class is assigned a value but never used. Okay. Script template. Is it supposed to be in single quotes? No, they were double quotes. Maybe I need to swap these for some reason. Read from like top to bottom. What we run that now? See what we're looking at here. A lot of gunk. Interesting. Let us see. Add scoped attributes. Again, I don't know what scoping things does. We have no assets, index.html. I guess this only gets shown if the public folder we don't use, unless the source folder doesn't get rendered properly. Hmm. Let us think about this. Maybe there's some more information here that'll help us. Scroll down a bit. What are we looking at? Directives, arguments, dynamic arguments, modifiers. Look up scope styles. W3 Schools is a great source of information on coding for like any language. So not surprising they have Vue stuff here. Scoped. What's up, Kyle? Yeah, subscribe. Thanks for reminding everybody. Anyways, scoped versus unscoped. Tag belongs to comp1.view. To avoid that the styling in one component affects the styling of elements in other components, we use scoped attribute. Okay. So it only applies to the component that we're currently working in. I'm going to take this actually and move it back over to our home.view. See if this fixes some of those errors we were getting. Move our template back up. Cool. These errors I don't really care to look at right now. See what happens if we try to run this time. Still errors. Still saying title class is assigned a value and then never used. So script setup, I guess. Do I need a script setup? Well, where's this import happening? Is that in here? I guess we're not importing ref at all. Maybe I need to add this. Get rid of that guy. Does that fix things? does not. Sorry, I'm covering up the errors here. Um, so still that same error. Assigned a value but never used. So that means we are. I don't think we're misspelling this. No, that looks fine. Um, Title gets defined down here. What are we missing? So we're looking here. We're trying to make some text a different color. I guess we can test to see if this hex actually works. It does. Um, but in defining our class, something isn't going quite right. Hmm. The simple things sometimes that are tough. I don't know. It's also difficult because I started out with a template here that I selected from when creating the project in Visual Studio. So it's not like I created all of these documents myself, and I don't completely understand the project hierarchy of Vue yet. But as we move along, I'm sure we'll get a better hang of things. Hey, yeah, no problem, T Fergs. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the reactions. Yeah, we could probably hop on later. We'll let you know. Any particular time you busy at all? We'll let you know. I forget my camera's up here. Chat's over here. So when I'm talking over here, I'm talking to chat, but I'm not looking at you. Might move the camera over. I don't know. Um, hmm. Let's think for a second. Directive, special attribute, VDOT bind. Dynamic ID. Module. Ref title. Um, Sounds good, Jared. Let us think. Let's think. I wonder if I need to put something in here. Do all scripts need to be in here? Default. I don't know how these two import home from. These need to go over here, maybe. I don't think this is gonna do it, but It's always worth trying. That would be a negative Ghost Rider. Um, hmm, what am I looking at? I want getting started. I wonder if there's one specifically for Visual Studio. Getting started. Visual Studio. I don't like Microsoft documentation, but see what it can teach us. So what are we looking at here? All the same folders. Cool. Add a view file to the project. Um, what are we looking at? So build a view file. Build, publish. CLI install dash dash B. I believe we already have Node installed as well as Vue, which is why it's building. I just don't know how these components interact. Um, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think I might call it here for today. I think I need to understand the file structure and how these files interact with a bit more before doing more work on this. But we did learn a few things um, as far as how these messages get generated, and we got a lot of good notes taken. So, just to recap, we researched some existing finance websites, got some info on kind of what search results look like for those, what we might want to try to rank for as far as SEO. Um, we went through a few of these websites just to see what was out there for similar websites to what I want to create for financial tools, personal finance tools. Could be used possibly for business applications as well, but that's not really the main focus. The main focus is personal finance, something free, easy to use, and useful. So we went through these websites that are mainly budgeting and investing calculators. They have a bunch of other product services you can pay for and get help with, but we got some pros and cons for what we liked or didn't like, and then kind of made a starter list for what we want to build. So we're looking for something dynamic, something with sliders, so you can move values back and forth and see how that'll change your interest and returns over time. very quick, very easy, and hopefully make something that looks good, something that's easy to read and easy to find information on the different inputs. So, say you're looking at interest rate, if you hover over it or an icon next to it, you can see what is that interest rate really mean, what's it referencing, and then made kind of our preliminary goals to start with an investment calculator of some sort with a graph that gives data on the input and then some sort of feedback system so that you guys can give feedback on what you like on the website once it's kind of live in its beta form where people can kind of test it, use it, see what they like or don't like, and then get feedback on it. So, yeah, that's what we got done today. Pretty good start. I'll do some more research on Vue so that I can be more productive next time. But I'm excited to see what we can get done. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody that stopped by. Thanks for watching. And if you're seeing this after the fact, maybe think about subscribing and following along with us while we kind of build this website together. And I post other content that is financial related, investing, budgeting, different tools that are out there. But yeah, thank you guys for catching me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.